Hello, I am Verde Augusto. This is the Schumann Resonance Harmonics channel on Facebook and on YouTube. And thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate your comments, your love and support. Thank you. Um, and I appreciate the feedback from everyone. Excuse me. And um, if people ask me questions, I work my best. I read through all of the comments, and if there are questions, I work my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And in a lot of cases, the comments direct me into kind of maybe the next video that I make. And even though I have a set, my guides give me a kind of set course or an agenda of topics that are relevant that I need to touch up on. Excuse me. Invariably, the comments lead me in directions that I can personally address specific issues and make a lesson, quote unquote, a lesson relevant to certain specific things that people, my subs, have brought up and things we've discussed in the comments and in the live stream. There's an ongoing discussion and a dialogue amongst a few of us who've been kind of following along with things. And I'm happy to be part of this dialogue with a lot of very smart and intelligent people who are very curious, even if they don't, intelligence doesn't mean you know all the answers, but it means you're willing to debate and discuss this from your perspective from a wow, let me look that up and see what I can myself come up with and add to the discussion. So I view those people as intelligent who are willing to add what they don't know, but their willingness to get answers. Anyway, all right. So, all right. So this is kind of, I don't know how to better to put this, but kind of a collision of two different, I don't want to say two worlds in collision. That sounds kind of silly. However, these both are spectrograms of the Schumann resonances, and one of the topics, the ongoing topics, is there's two actually here. There's two issues that are related. One is how to read the spectrogram properly, and the other is from Tomsk, and the other is how to read the Schumann spectrogram in general, which isn't necessarily Schumann resonance spectrogram so much as the report of an ELF, which is like what we're putting here, of up to say 120 hertzes. Okay, so proper Schumann resonances, as it's showing you here, we'll say it's 5 to 35, and actually the Schumann resonances go up to, I think it's 43, I believe technically, or 45, I think, 44, somewhere around there. Anyway, so, but this is part of what the discussion is, that it's defined differently in different places, different sources. This right here is Italy. All right, and so as far as I know, the source of this is in Italy. So part of the second big sub portion, I guess, of the discussion of reading the spectrogram is it's fine enough to ask for data and information from a second or a third or a tertiary place on the globe away from Tomsk. A person, the observer, has to be able to interpret what's there. And so, in addition to discussing the spectrogram in general, it's important to talk about spectrograms as a totality of what they do, how they operate, how to get the signal. So this next lesson here that I'm introducing, it's a preview of, what's coming up, like the next one of the next videos. It may not be the very next, but it's one of the very next, which is a wonderful article. This was a like a WordPress, I believe, a WordPress blog here, the Schumann Symphonies, and it just had a great title. I was like, oh, I get to share this with the group. And as you can see, the spectrogram here is very what is the word I'm looking for? It's very promising. It's very looks full of, excuse me, pardon me, looks very full of promising information. However, one needs to know what it is that they're looking at and be able to orientate the spectrogram properly against what you're used to at Tomsk and against the rest of the ones in the rest of the world. And within the last week, couple days, I put out a video from the students in Japan, Toyama University, and we're having kind of discussion on the details of that, of what's the tunnel. And like, okay, that's part of the natural landscape, or part, I don't want to say natural, but it's part of the local landscape that they're in, of this variation based on a tunnel. And I don't have much more information to go with than what's there in the video, the little film strip that came out. Like, okay, so this is more information that we need to kind of dig up and uncover to figure out the story behind that. But part of the story is, with that, their observations, their charting, comes this difference in the ways and means that the information gets plotted upon the spectro when it gets reported in the line dependencies. All right, so this is just a little bit. I'm pointing out this line graph up here, and you see these are at your Hertz marks going across this way here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, bing, we have this magic line at 50 that we get. All right, so Tomsk stops at this one here, 40, all right? If they didn't stop at 40, you would notice this here in 50. All right, so most there's either at 50 or 60 hertz, you're going to notice somewhere in there is this line. So 60 would be here, I think in Japan, I think theirs was the 60. In Italy, theirs is the 50, and I believe in the United States, ours is 50 as well. So part of how do you get here in Tomsk, right, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 25 right there. You see that, 25. How are you getting the 25? Because it's at a harmonic, half a harmonic of this 50, all right? And so what I'm suggesting to you as well is that a lot of these are in sync with the harmonic of power drive somewhere in their local vicinity. All right, so that's what this here, we're talking about interference, harmonic interference on the Schumann. So that's part of the discussion, like half of this discussion here. That's why I got kind of these two up here. Excuse me, instead of just the one. That's why there's two up here, because there's like two parts to this lesson. As there has been for most of my videos, there's two parts to this video. And even though I don't need to, cut it off at 10 minutes or 33, I did want to make one of these more of an introductory of where we're going with this, and explain, at least in somewhat of a detail, the thumbnail, my teaching material at length, and present this information as a, like even a little trailer of where I'm going. And maybe if I can get Alex here with me, we can do this as a live cast and yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something with that. All right. So this is actually going to be the end of the video right here. This is just a kind of trailer, a teaser, or whatever. I wanted to put out something tonight, and then have a longer one tomorrow or later on in the day. It's actually like 3 in the morning now. So, so anyway, on that cheery note. So this is kind of the part A of this video. It's just really to introduce what we're doing here, and give you a message of hope and good positive vibes. Thank you all for being here, and I'm actually going to where are we now? I think we're back live. Okay, so that's one of Aaron's mixes. All right, so we have the Schumann up, and I'm going to kind of take this out with some music and doing a close-up of the Schumann, if you don't mind. And I just wanted to show my face in this video for a few minutes. The next one, actually, while I have you here, I'll just show you this. All right, so the name of this, the next article here is, I'll just get, actually, while I'm here, I'll do the quick. All right, so this is one of those things I want to show you. In order to know how to get the Schumann signal, you have to know the data pathway. All right, so there's that, the antenna, there's more of this, the front end. Like there's a lot of good stuff. I'm flying through this. This is going to take like, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes, like. And this is a great shot. Look at that. I want to make sure. I wanted to show you this here first and foremost. Look at this goofy antenna that they're making, but it's like, oh man, that's the money shot right there. Setup, capture, simple, functional, and extemporaneous. There we are. General guidelines. Look at this, is a freaking awesome article. There's another Schumann right there. Spectrum Lab, right? So, but you see the chart here of this. I want to show you this, and this is, look, decibels, right? But this is also giving you the frequency, right? There's the first one, there's 6. That's 14, roughly, not quite 14. That's 20, not quite 14. I mean, that's 20, not quite 20. That's 19-ish. That's 26. These are the resonances. These are the resonances. There you go. And what you're seeing here is this really hot line, this notch, at 50. That's the power supply. All right. So, all right. So thus ends the this introduction. Disclosurenews.com. This is where I'm getting the information. All right, so this is a close-up of the Schumann. All right, so we're going to music out of this with something really nice. There we go. Thank you all for being here today.